In this video, we're going over the absolute best settings to run in XDefiant if you want to improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill. If you are a Call of Duty player and coming to this free-to-play FPS, I have some settings that can make the game feel just like home. So if that sounds good, feel free, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and also stay tuned for more best settings as well as class setups on popular weapons. So as you guys can see here, I play with an Xbox Elite controller on PC with one paddle on the back set up for jumping. Now, the first setting is going to be adjusting your field of view. If you play Call of Duty, I highly recommend playing within the 100 to the 120 FOV window. This is going to allow you to get a bigger picture and also helping out with those long range engagements. All these settings in this video are going to be helping out players that previously played Call of Duty that want to make XDefiant feel a lot more relatable, and also new XDefiant players who have not played Call of Duty that want to have the best chance at winning gunfights at any and all ranges, meaning close, medium, as well as long ranges where people are going to be falling short. And having the 120 FOV set with the ADS field of view set to consistent is going to be doing exactly that. The reason you want to have consistent is it's going to mirror your field of view, meaning once you aim down sight using an optic or an iron sight, your crosshair or reticle is going to be mimicking that 100 or 120 FOV, making medium to longer range gunfights a lot easier to win. And that's where I feel most players are going to be falling short. What you also want to do is make sure your ADS sensitivity transition is set to instant. I highly recommend not adjusting this setting at all. Now, what I have done personally is I have enabled aiming interrupts reload. This is going to be helping out a lot of players that are running and gunning. So let's say you start a reload, but somebody turns the corner. If you aim down sight, that's going to cancel that reload. So you are back in the gunfight. So you're not essentially getting caught reloading and giving yourself an easy death. All the other settings are going to be pretty much the same here. Now, I do have auto sprint turned off. This is just going to be allowing myself again to not accidentally run into a gunfight that I'm not prepared to win. Everything else here, again, we are not going to be going ahead and adjusting. Sprint interrupts reload. Like I said, this is going to be on because if I do run into somebody while sprinting, I want to be able to cancel my reload cancel, and get back into the gunfight here. Slide behavior is going to be on tap. Auto weapon reload, I have this on just so when the gun fully runs out, it automatically reloads. It's going to be an ease of use setting here. Auto weapon swap, I'm going to go ahead and keep that on. Auto grab ledge, that's going to be turned off. I don't want to have anything obstructing my gameplay. Let's say that, you know, you're trying to get into a gunfight with somebody and there's a ledge in front of you. The last thing you want to have happen is your character start mounting it and, well, you lost. So that's something that I want to make sure is turned off. But again, everything else here is going to be pretty much the same. I have not made any of the changes under the settings for the gameplay and UI under this category. Some of these other settings you can't enable, like FPS display and ping delay. Personally, I don't like to have all that clutter on my screen. That's why I have these turned off. But these are some settings that honestly you can turn on and really not have any impact to your gameplay. It's going to be ease of use. Now, the controller settings are going to be very important because this is where you're going to be making XDefiant feel a lot more like Call of Duty. Under the button layout, we have Brawler, which is going to be essentially the tactical button layout in Modern Warfare 3. This is going to rematch that crouch and prone button, so you can seriously just press down on the right thumbstick in order to crouch and get in and out of cover, meaning you're going to be staying alive a lot longer. Now, you don't have to play on Brawler if you do not want to. You can have this on the default setting. But if you play on tactical for Call of Duty, Brawler is going to be that same setting, so there is going to be some familiarity there. Now, stick layout, obviously this is going to be on default. I have not made any changes here, but for the aim assist, obviously we're going to have this on standard. We are playing with a controller. Now your aim assist strength, you want to keep this at 0, and your aim assist follow, you also want to keep this at 0. If you mess with these settings, you're gonna have less aim assist, meaning you're gonna have a terrible time playing XDefiant, especially if you're playing against other controller players and getting in gunfights at those medium to longer ranges. The whole purpose of this video is to make sure you're having a good time playing and not terrorizing yourself unintentionally. Now, aim assist response curve type, there are 2 settings you want to run under this category. If you play on linear in Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2, linear is going to be a great setting to run here in XDefiant, allowing us to snap aim on players at longer ranges. Once I do get some more gameplay on XDefiant, I will be making a video explaining how you can center and snap aim and dominate at those medium longer ranges a lot easier. The mechanics are the same in this game as they are in Call of Duty. But if you play on dynamic in Call of Duty, reverse S-curve is what you want to play on for XDefiant. These are going to be the 2 best settings to run if you are trying to have the game feel like COD. So this is going to be a nice one because whether you play on linear or dynamic, both of these settings are going to help you out and overall drastically improving your gameplay. Because I've been playing on linear for quite some time, I'm going to play on linear, but for those of you who are playing on dynamic, reverse S-curve is going to feel right at home. Now, my horizontal sensitivity is going to be set at 60, and my vertical sensitivity is going to be also set at 60. This is going to be that 6.6 sensitivity setting in Modern Warfare 3 and also Modern Warfare 2. Now, the same principle follows in Call of Duty as it does in XDefiant. You want to play within that 4 to 6, 40 to 60 sensitivity window, especially if you are learning how to win more gunfights at those medium to longer ranges. This is going to allow you to be as accurate as possible but still have the ability to turn on players at closer ranges. So if you are starting out, I highly recommend playing on the 40 to sensitivity window, and also if you are playing on 6.6 on Call of Duty, 60 is going to be a very close match. And you guys can see here we have 80 sensitivity, multiplayer low zoom, and also high zoom. I've went ahead and mimicked my same exact settings as I run on Call of Duty. 0.60, we have 0.60 here in XDefiant as well. Definitely go ahead and rock these settings if you want to have similar Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 settings here in XDefiant. Now, if you want to play on 40 horizontal and 40 vertical, I do recommend going ahead and bumping this up to 0.75 on both the 80 sensitivity multiplayer low zoom as well as high zoom. That's going to feel exactly like how it does in Modern Warfare 3, depending on the settings you are running. 4 or 6, 0.60, 0.75. Everything here is going to be pretty much set for your own controller. Your dead zone is going to be dependent on your controller's health and how much stick drift you have. Acceleration, speed, and multiplayer, I have left that alone. All these other settings are going to be pretty much personal preference. You guys know me, or if you guys don't know, you're going to know that I never recommend playing with controller vibration. I don't want to have any unnecessary play in my controller throwing off my aim and accuracy at longer ranges. So that's why this setting is always turned off, no matter if I'm playing XDefiant or Call of Duty. Now, the audio settings are equally as important in XDefiant as they are in Call of Duty. But the nice thing about XDefiant, the audio is quite nice. You can hear footsteps and gunfire quite easily, especially if you play with a headset. I use an Astro A40TR headset. It's very old, but it's tried and true and gets the job done. Honestly, if you've been playing with a headset or surround sound speaker system you've purchased within the last 7 years, you will be good to go with these settings. Now, my main volume is going to be on 100. I like to go ahead and have this cranked up so I can hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier. Dialogue volume, I don't mind it being at 100. SFX volume, I don't mind it being at 100. The UI, I also do not mind it being at 100. But what I do actually turn off more than what I do turn off in Call of Duty is gonna be the music volume. It is crazy loud in this game. I don't know if it's intentional, but I do have this turned down 40, so it's not gonna be overbearing and, you know, drowning out a lot of the gunfire as well as footsteps. But these are gonna be the audio settings that I actually recommend running here in XDefiant, especially if you do play with a headset. Now, specifically for me, I actually have the voice chat turned off. The reason I do this is because obviously when I'm playing and recording, I don't want to have my mic popping up in game and annoying other people who are just trying to enjoy their playing experience. So that's why I go ahead and have this turned off. But again, you don't have to do this. Obviously, because I make content, it'd be quite annoying, you know, having me commentate or just react to, you know, the game and have people not knowing exactly what's going on. So that's exactly why I have all these settings turned off. Again, they're for me, but what you definitely want to do here is adjust the music volume because it is blasting in this game, let me tell you. Now we're gonna quickly go over the video and graphics as well as the language and accessibility here. These settings are gonna be specifically set up for my own PC because I obviously play, record, upload videos on the same rig. So a lot of these settings are gonna be for my own personal use. Feel free to copy them down if you have a 2080 Ti Super. I know that's kind of an older graphics card, but that's what I currently have. So you guys can go ahead and copy these if you want to. Again, some of these are set from my own personal experience, so my game can run the best it can while I am recording as well as streaming. So everything is not going to be dropping frames or going too crazy. Now for language and accessibility, you guys can see here, the one thing that I went ahead and made a change to is I have adjusted the flashbang effect. You guys can see here, this is going to be on dark. You can have it on bright, but let's be honest here, having a bright flash on your screen can be kind of annoying. I've already gotten flashbang in a couple times in game, and the dark setting is going to be a lot easier, not only to just kind of just reorientate yourself with, but it's not going to be just as blinding when you get flash. So make this change if you guys want to, but that's going to be the only thing that I went ahead and adjusted under the language and accessibility tab. Now I'm going to go over matchmaking and account here. You guys can see you can disable or have crossplay enabled. So if you play on PS5 or Xbox and don't want to play with any PC players, you can turn off crossplay. You can also have input-based matchmaking as well, meaning if you play with a controller and you don't want to run into people that play with a mouse and a keyboard, you can go ahead and enable that so you can only play against people that have your same input. So if you guys play, like I said, on Xbox with a controller, you can play with people who play on Xbox with a controller. If you guys play on PC with a mouse and keyboard, you can play on only the people that have PC with the mouse and keyboard. Quite nice to went ahead and added this in. I'm curious if they're gonna do this with Call of Duty in the future. But these are gonna be the best settings you guys can rock here in XDefiant right now, especially if you're trying to have the game feel a lot more like Call of Duty. So if you guys enjoy, feel free, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. Let me know down in the comment section right now if you check out these settings. Well, technically not now. You guys know what I mean. If you check out these settings, come back to the video, let me know how well you guys are doing. And also, let me know if you guys are enjoying XDefiant as well. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.